Hey folks, this is Ham the Guinness Gamer here, bringing you episode 11 of my Civilization 6 Complete Beginner's Guide. Going right into it, where we started off the last turn, just gonna bounce forward into the next turn. Reminded down here in the bottom right, I know I touched on it before about Golden Ages and Era Score, but if you look down to your end turn button down the bottom right where it gives you the number of Era Score you've got, it also gives you a hint about whether you're going to be on a Golden Age next age or not with this golden circle that has appeared. Now, my circle is fully golden there because I am going to be in a Golden Age, but as you get closer and closer throughout the era, that circle increases in, originally I think it's black, but it increases in size towards gold. But I'll point that out in the next era, and you'll see what I mean in greater detail. For now, at the start of this turn, we have our worker here to finally improve this iron tile to get us iron. And as discussed before, I'd left a couple of turns on the research for ironworking because I knew discovering or building this mine on an iron tile was going to give me the eureka that would discover this technology. So we finally discovered it. We can now produce a swordsman, which is the best early unit melee class, or early era melee unit, should I say, and 35 strength compared to the warrior. I think the warrior is either 15 or 20. I think the warrior's 20 strength, so it's a sizable upgrade on that. It does use 20 iron to make one, so we're going to need to wait a few turns before we have the iron to be able to do that. But by the time we get that stage anyway, we'll be there. We've also unlocked the next Wander, Jebel Barkle, award 6 iron per turn, which is pretty noticeable, particularly in early game. But plus 4 faith to all your cities that are within 6 tiles. I'm not really going for faith, but that could be useful. Would be useful for a religious or faith victory slash military. So if you were combining those two things together, that would be a very useful Wander for that. So we've got that. We've boosted our iron working. We now have this archer, so we are going up here to attack this city to see if we can take it in time before it flips. Now we're probably not going to be able to, let's be honest. We have 2 turns, but everybody loves a trier, so I am going to keep pushing at it anyway. And I believe this guy can upgrade, but he needs to shy away, so he does, or he's going to get killed next turn. So what are we producing? We're producing the ancient walls, and then I'm going to produce a boatload of troops, because now that I have iron and swordsmen, I am going to go to war with Spain, and probably Ulm will flip to Spain pretty soon. So we will do that and take all these cities at once. Now it's noticeable they actually have a number of cities, so where I've been trying to place this one to screw them over, they have actually managed to place a few more, so I may place a city here, but we'll see. For now I'm skipping forward turns, see what Ulm does here. They're probably just going to attack my horsemen, see what kind of damage they do. Should be okay for now. Right, so if I can get him in here. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to waste my turn attacking this city. I'm not going to get it in one turn. There's no way, so I'm just going to heal him up. And get this other horseman well on his way. Now I notice here, I'm planning ahead for the future here, I'm looking at the Spanish troops thinking I can crush them pretty easily. They've got 3 warriors and a spearman. They might have some more in here, so sometimes these numbers can be a bit misleading. If I remember rightly, in the last turn or a couple of turns ago, they were ahead of me and everything. I am now decently ahead of them in military strength, but we'll watch their number go down quite rapidly as I kill those. That could be all 4 of their units. It's probably not. They probably have a couple more, but that's the majority of their army. As you get used to playing it, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head right now what score warriors are and what score spearmen are, but there'll be a good chunk of that 120. So Munich, right? So military then. So now that I have, now can I make swordsman? Insufficient, 18 more iron. So if you look up here at my iron, then it's +2 per turn, but it's going to actually take me a while before I produce enough that I can make a few swordsmen. I'm also researching catapults. I'll have them in 2 turns, and building those ancient walls in Munich will help get those. So I'm going to want to produce the 2 of those in quite an amount of quantity. And because I have to wait maybe a couple of turns before I get the iron anyway, I am going to build my next settler, and I'm going to send them down here. Maybe my next 2 settlers, and send them up here. If you look at this governor that I've put back to this city, he's the one that reduces the population loss when you create a settler. So in 1 turn he'll be established and we'll be getting that benefit again. So that works out quite well. Might build a city and put one up here somewhere along the coast, and then another one down here. And that should do us for now. Mexico is going to get our next envoy, because I like a production bonus when we have when we'll have the production district built, which shouldn't be too far away. I'd say we're unlocking it pretty soon if we haven't already. So this guy, there we go. So finally the city has flipped to Spain. Annoying as that is, we were expecting it. So I'm just going to heal everybody here, get everybody healed up, and get ready for a proper offensive to take Ulm, Toledo, and I'll probably just keep going because they have a nice access to iron here, so that will be lovely. But for now, I'm just going to leave these guys near the border. Next turn. City loss, yeah, and they are producing. What are they producing? Scouts, okay. Might end up fast forwarding through a couple of turns here, because all I'm doing is getting these guys set up for a bit of an attack, and then fast forwarding through unit production. Now what we can now also make that I'll probably go for is machinery, because that's gonna give us the crossbowman, which we can upgrade our archers to, and he's considerably stronger than the archers, so I'm going to go for that seeing as I'm going all military right now. And this guy can fortify. You can actually come around here, and you can go in there, and he can go in there. Next turn, hurry it along. Right. Okay, we recorded history. What civics does that unlock? No, it's just the Eureka moment, never mind that. We will fortify this guy, and we have our settler. Okay, now this guy, kind of forgot that he was down here. Maya, or she was down here. Her start location wasn't great, but her capital there is going to start pushing into tiles here, as you can see already, the loyalty issue. So I'm going to go down. I'm probably going to place here my settler. I mean, there I get water, I get that wheat, I get that sheep. 1, 2, 3. I also get, I don't get the culture, but I'm not too concerned of these 2 special tiles. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm more concerned about getting fresh water, and those mountain tiles would be good for science. So I'm going to go down here and I'll place them there. Based on that, there shouldn't be any enemies down here, so I'm not sending a troop with them. Shouldn't be any enemies. Just going to automatically explore this scout. Now, famous last words. I'm sending him down there without a military unit, unaccompanied. Probably isn't the best idea, but we'll see. Right, there's a hand, so we have unlocked it, so I'm going to go for it next actually, because this is going to, when we start to churning out swordsmen and catapults and such, that we can do catapults now. Production, it's all about production in the city, and this production district obviously is going to focus in that regard. So where to put it, I mean, you generally just go by what it suggests. I mean, we've got +4 here, so that's fantastic. Now what is that replacing? Is that just a hill? Oh, it's a stone quarry. Okay, stone quarry. If I put this, +2 production bonus for each adjacent commercial hub, aqueduct, canal, and dam districts. Don't have any of those yet. +1 production bonus for each adjacent resource. +1 production bonus for every 2 adjacent district tiles. So it is going to eat up that stone, but I'm happy enough with that because it's giving me the extra production that we're losing anyway from the stone. Unless I had another +4 elsewhere, but I don't believe so. So I'm going to go here, place it here, and remove the stone, remove the quarry, yes. And that is going to build in 3 turns. And right now our production is 32.4, and we'll see it will increase significantly then once I get that built. Frankfurt as well here. Frankfurt also has the possibility of build a Hansa, and I'm gonna go for that as well. Again, production for churning out units when the time comes. Sadly, Frankfurt doesn't have as much a bonus as the others. I'm going to put it here because there's a couple of tiles I could pick, but this one gives me +2 and isn't using up as much resource tiles. Excuse me, sorry. Whereas as much of the tiles yield. So if we put it here, we would lose 3 food, 1 production, and 2 science for only 2 production. Whereas here we're only losing 2 production and 1 food for 2 production. So that's why I'll go for this one. It's a weaker tile in general before putting the district on it. Now, let's take a wee drink here. What these guys are doing. Okay, we'll get that in a second. Lady 6 guy wants my iron for some gold. And yeah, all of my iron. That ain't happening. That iron is very important to me, and it is key to our plans of destroying the Spanish once and for all. What's happening here, this is tied in with the faith mechanic. These are missionaries, and in this case they're Judaism missionaries coming from Maya. So Maya have presumably created or discovered the religion Judaism, and they're trying to spread it. Now, if you look here, if you look dominant religion, Judaism, so they have it in all their cities, and now they're sending missionaries to spread it to my cities, which I don't mind because I'm not pushing for a faith victory in any capacity. So if they want to convert my cities, that's okay. I'm not really going to fight them. There is such a thing as a religious victory, where if they have converted, I think, the majority of all civilization cities. So there are games where I would care if they're pushing me. Say I'm the last civ or the last of 2 civs that haven't been converted, then you're going to fight them off, and you're going to try to fight them off. The way to fight missionaries is you kind of have to train your own and kill them that way. But you can also pass certain civics to stop them being allowed to go into your territory. But for the most part, I'm not too concerned with them now. I don't tend to follow the religious element too much. There are certain civs you'll end up playing if you play on random, and they'll be religious civs, and then there'll definitely be bonuses to pushing that a little bit. But it's very rare that I would actually go for the religious victory. Someday I think I will, but in general I don't. If you look here as well, Spain are sending missionaries to me as well now, and they're actually sending me Catholicism missionaries. So it's a different religion, and ultimately these missionaries could end up fighting if they wanted, but for now they're just trying to convert my cities. So my cities will end up being a bit of a culture pot, probably coming from both of them, and ultimately you could use it to your advantage, and you could get them to attack each other, in a bit of a religious war, and maybe even over my cities, but I don't really want that because then they're doing a lot of the fighting maybe near me because of where they are, which isn't ideal, isn't great for business if there's a war going on just outside your city walls. But for now, I'll leave her be. She can do a religious thing. My enemy, the enemy in my head is Spain. He has no idea, but eventually he'll find out the hard way. For now, let's push this city, skip forward next turn. Once you get through into sort of getting into the middle game now, turns do go by a wee bit quicker. Sometimes there's a wee bit less to do, but there's a longer wait time for units and buildings, etc., to actually be produced. So there, we've just built our first Hansa, which gives us +4 Euro score, which is delightful. So we're already getting a golden age. There's no benefit for me actually getting more Euro score. It's just bragging rights really at this stage. So now that we've built the Hansa in Munich, I am able to build the first building in it, which is the workshop, which again is another 3 production. So if you look at this has already went up by 3 or 4 production from I built that Hansa, and the workshop will bring it up by another 3. Now what we do need to do is sort out this amenity problem in Munich and also actually in Frankfurt. So in the absence of luxury resources in our land, I might see if I can actually trade for some. Let's see if oh, I want to talk to you. So declare no. Make a deal. Let's see what she wants. Nah. What does she see? She has extra furs. They'll never really give you their luxury resource if they only have one of them. But if they have two, you have a chance of getting them. So I'm gonna ask her what it would take for one furs. 32 gold. I'll accept that. I was afraid she was actually gonna ask for iron, which I wasn't gonna give her, but I'll give her gold. So there, that'll get me some furs for my capital and for Frankfurt, and that should remove. Might take a turn to show it. 13 housing, 5 amenities. Okay, no, we're still one short then. Still one short. What about Frankfurt? It should be okay, or is it one short? Yeah, if you look at the reason why I know that is because I'm getting 3 from luxury resources. Before I made that deal for furs from Lady Six Guy, I only had 2 because I have my upgraded amber and my upgraded spices here. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to build an entertainment complex, and this is why we kind of got this researched. Was that this is another district, and this will give us an amenity from entertainment. Now, I do believe this is one of the districts. Oh, Miss Frankfurt, sorry, I don't want it to build it. I want Munich to build it. This is one of the districts that if you build it within a certain amount of tiles of a couple of cities, the other cities will get the benefit. So if I manage to buy this, don't actually have the gold for that, build this near enough to Frankfurt, it may get the bonus. But as it happens, I'm not really able to. Let me see. Don't think I'll be able to reach it. I don't think it'll be close enough where I can build these because I can't buy those tiles because I don't have enough gold, so it has to go. I don't really want to put it here. It's not a bad tile to be honest. 3 and 3. I'm just gonna have to put it here onto this shit tile. If Frankfurt don't get it, they don't get it. It can't be helped. For now, so I'm going to get that built, and that in 4 turns then that should sort out our amenities problem. If you remember from before, it reduces our growth and our yields. So the reason why I'm doing this before producing all the units is because long term I'll be better off. I'll be able to produce more units in a shorter length of time. Now this guy, where did I send him? I sent him here, didn't I? Yep, so I'm happy enough for him to build there. Thankfully there are no barbarians hanging out in this area, ready to steal my unaccompanied settler. So we need more amenities in Frankfurt. If built adjacent to a gym, no, we don't have one of those. Government plaza, no. Preserve housing. Could end up building an entertainment complex as well, but for now I'll wait. I'll wait to see if it gets the bonus from this because there's no point having 2. If Frankfurt's going to get the bonus from Munich's entertainment complex, it won't get any bonus from its own. They don't stack, so there's no point in that. For now, I'm just going to build a workshop and increase my production a bit more. And get now Berlin has just been built, so first things first, we want probably food and production. So let's go with a watermill. And 3 turns. I don't want to annoy her too much, so I'll apologise, but it doesn't mean you have to give back your city or anything. There's Spain coming in and spreading Catholicism with us, which is very nice of them. Oh, there we go. So we have just went into the new era. The world enters the medieval era, and you'll notice immediately what happened was, first of all, we unlocked machinery, which is fantastic because we can now make crossbowmen. But the whole screen went gold. Up here, the bar up here is gold, and now we're allowed to make a dedication for the new era. So we're in a golden age, which is fantastic. So this will be useful. So Eureka is providing additional 10% of technology costs. Commercial hub and harbours, gold adjacency bonus provide science as well. I generally would go for this. This one's religious missionaries, so that's about +2 movement for missionaries, apostles, and inquisitors. So that's and new ones get 2 charges. That's all to do with fighting your religious units, fighting other religious units. But I don't really have any of those. This one, monumentality, +2 movement for all builders. Isn't bad. May purchase civilian units with faith, which is useful again if you have any faith. If you look up here, I'm still actually 0 and 0 per turn, so that would be completely useless for me as well. Inspirations aren't bad. +1 culture, 10% civic boosts, kind of the same as the one above, but for the civics. But I am going to go for the free inquiry because I am pushing science, and the extra gold will be, or the extra science from commercial hub and harbour districts would be good. Even though we don't have any of those built yet, we will. We just don't have a gold city built, a money city built, and we kind of need one because if you look at this, I'm now slipping into negative gold per turn, which isn't ideal. So next, Petra Consulate Diplomatic Quarter. Next research, I don't actually have too much on the top of my mind that I need to get now that I've got those attacking. Lumber mill's good for production. I'm going to go for mathematics though, just to get, because it's an earlier one that we could do with having for the diplomatic quarter, but I'll get to that in time. Please wait. We will. I'm surprised this guy isn't freaking out that I still have loads of units around him. So I'm just constantly keeping an eye on my iron stockpile here, particularly in the wee downtime we have between turns. The iron stockpile will be up at 20 next turn, so that will get me to be able to create our first swordsman. Now what this is the World Congress. Now this I believe came in with the Gathering Storm update, but I could be wrong on that. So if you don't have that, you will not be seeing any kind of, you don't have that expansion, you'll not be seeing this screen at all. Now what it is, it's what it sounds like, the World Congress. You get certain situations come up, and you get to vote on them essentially. Some of the situations are revolving around wars and such that civs are at with each other. Other ones are just random, in times of peace. They seem to be random anyway. But if you read them, generally they'll give you an idea of whether it's good for you or bad for you or completely irrelevant. So if you look at this one, plus 100% of the city-state yield type when sending trade routes to a city-state of this type. I'm not actually sending trade routes to any city-states right now. So I wouldn't get any bonus of this. So city-states of this type do not provide their unique suzerain bonus. So I'm going to go with that, because that top one's not an advantage to me at all. So it'll probably be an advantage to some other civs. So I'm just voting against it. Which one I pick right now, it doesn't really matter. We'll go military that I'm against, but I'm not going to spend too much. I can vote multiple times, and I can add another vote for 10 diplomatic favour. The minute I only have 117 diplomatic favour. This is a currency of sorts that I haven't really discussed yet, but you get it from certain interactions with other civs. I think I got 30 there from telling Lady Six Guy that I wouldn't settle any more cities near her when she asked me not to. So that kind of thing gives you a diplomatic favour. You can also build buildings later on that give you diplomatic favour, and it's generally your interaction with the other civs then that affects that. This next one then is World Religion, plus 10 strength, combat and religious for all units of this religion. Again, I don't really have a religion, so I'm going to go against that. All players may condemn units of the chosen religion, and doing so grants 25 diplomatic favour. Now I'm going to go for that, and condemning them is killing them. And because I want to go to war with Spain, and he's spreading Catholicism to me, I'm going to go for Catholicism, and I'm going to put an extra couple of votes in that, because ultimately that could give me a whole lot of extra diplomatic favour in the future, because I'm going to be maybe trying to kill him anyway. So if I get extra diplomatic favour for that, that would be fantastic. If you notice, each time I hit a thumbs up, the amount of costs increase each time, so there's only so many times you can vote. And obviously the more diplomatic favour you have from being a good boy with your relations with other civs, then the more you can vote in something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and submit. Everybody submitted, so everybody gets votes. And what has passed? So that went against what I voted. So if you look here, it tells you who voted for what, and in this case I plus 100%. Who am I again? I'm this guy. Yeah, so I voted against it, and so did this unknown person, whereas the rest of them all voted for it. So I was outvoted, so be it. All players may condemn units of a chosen religion, and doing so grants 25 diplomatic favour. So that one is actually passed for what I went for, and it only passed because I put 4 into it. Most other people went against it. Philip actually voted for it, but he voted for it in a different for a different religion. But ultimately, I'm not sure if the mechanics of this works as completely as it should. But because he voted for it, but for a different religion, it's actually kind of counted as a vote for mine. But I voted Catholicism because I put for. Then that's what it went for. So he's essentially ended up voting to screw himself over in a way, which is pretty hilarious. And I'm happy for him. Because if you look at that, there was only one vote in it, so his vote made the difference, and my extra votes all made the difference too, obviously. Now what's happening here? He is moving a guy near my border. Well, it's almost as if he knows I'm going to attack him. Or maybe he's exploring, but I'll claim he attacked me. So for now, we're rolling forward. We're about to unlock. Okay, mathematics. That's good. We've just built our amenity center and our entertainment complex, and Munich no longer is short on amenities, which is fantastic. What that will also unlock is the ability to build other entertaining buildings. So again, once we hit that amenity choke point again, which to be fair we're at now because we're 6 out of 6, I think it said there, 6 out of 6, we can then build the arena and that'll give us another 2. But for now, what I want to focus on is, well, we can now produce our first man. Oh, they're now man at arms. Excellent. We can now produce our first man at arms. So I've spent so long trying to actually get iron that went into the next era. I've got the, to get swordsman. We've entered into the next era. I've unlocked the next civ, the next research, and we can now make man at arms. But they do still need 20 iron, so that's still relevant. But that is the upgraded version of the swordsman. So sadly, we didn't get to actually see that in action. But for now, I am going to build the workshop to increase my production. I'm just looking at the time here, and I'm gonna call this one off here. In the next video, we should hopefully get a good few units up and running and actually declare war on Spain and take our city back that they inadvertently stole. But for now, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed what you've been watching, if you give us a like and a subscribe, and if you have any comments to make, you can leave them below. I'll see you all later. Goodbye.